My child, hear me. Archangel Michael's voice thundered like rolling waves against the firmament, shaking the unseen heavens with urgency. You have only 4 minutes. The command did not come softly, nor as a suggestion, but as a decree that rippled through eternity itself. In that instant, all of heaven seemed to tremble with expectation, as though the golden streets had stilled and the angelic choirs hushed their song to witness what would unfold in your life. There was a stirring in the courts of the Almighty, a vibration so intense that even the pillars of heaven leaned forward. Why? Because a miracle, yes, your miracle, had already been written, sealed, and released with your name etched into its very light. A miracle not for tomorrow, not for another age, but for this day, this hour, this moment. For minutes stand between its arrival or its theft. A scroll glows in the chambers of the Most High. Its seal bears your name, and its edges shimmer with living fire, as though eternity itself burns to deliver what is written inside. Angels have carried it through the heavens with joy, their wings ablaze with anticipation. But even as they hover, waiting for the command to place it into your hands, the heavens tremble with a holy alarm. Will you answer? Will you act? For though miracles are decreed, they must also be received. And in this delicate moment, heaven waits not for kings, not for prophets, not for nations, but for you. This is why Michael's voice cracks with urgency. The scroll is ready, but its glow flickers like a flame in the wind, vulnerable to the hands of those who would dare snatch it away. My beloved, understand this, Michael continues, his voice a mixture of fire and compassion. Heaven has already spoken over your life. The throne of God has declared restoration, favor, and divine provision to be yours. It is not a promise for another. It is sealed in your name. And yet, as his words pierce through the air, a shadow begins to coil, as though somewhere beyond the gates of light, the enemy has caught scent of your inheritance. The angels at the throne stir uneasily, for they know the cost of delay. What heaven has decreed, hell seeks to destroy. The question is not whether the miracle exists, it is here, alive and waiting. The question is whether you will reach out before it is too late. In heaven's chamber, a bell tolls, not of death, but of urgency. Its chime shakes through realms, each strike marking the seconds slipping away. The sound is not meant to frighten but to awaken. My child, Michael urges, every moment of hesitation empowers the hand of your adversary. Do not let them snatch what was signed in your bloodline before you were even born. The miracle has already descended into your atmosphere. It hovers, trembling, waiting for you to open your spirit. Imagine the air vibrating around you, heavy with promise, thick with unseen fire. This is not fantasy, it is the invisible reality pressing against your life right now. Michael's voice lowers, trembling as though with sorrow. Beloved, delay is destruction. Do you not see? Your miracle hovers in the air, so close that angels weep at the possibility of its loss. But miracles are like living beings, they cannot wait forever. If ignored, they seek another hand, another heart that will believe. In the chamber of heaven, the glowing scroll flickers like a candle in the wind. It tilts, trembling between light and shadow. My child, you must understand, the miracle is yours. But it needs you to receive it. Even as heaven shakes with alarm, shadows creep in the corners of the earth. Last night, while you rested, your enemies gathered in whispers. Their envy is their fuel, their jealousy the fire of their schemes. They sense the release of heaven's scroll with your name, and like vultures circling the living, they devised ways to intercept it. Their hands reached through unseen realms, clawing at the air, hoping to snatch the light meant for you. Precious one, Michael's tone grows sharper, do not be blind, the enemy does not rest. They crave what heaven has written for you. They would rather see your hands empty than witness your destiny unfold. Dark clouds gather over your atmosphere, circling like wolves around a flame. They cannot create light of their own, so they hunger to steal yours. Every blessing spoken over you has been marked, and their jealousy grows louder each day. In their shadows they mutter, if only we can silence the promise, if only we can suffocate their hope, the miracle will wither. Michael's sword flashes as he speaks, beloved, do not underestimate them. These shadows hunger not for your possessions but for your purpose. They crave the scroll, for within it lies your future. Yet take comfort, nothing escapes the eyes of heaven. The Almighty saw their gathering. The whispers of betrayal did not pass unnoticed. Angels leaned forward as they plotted, and their names were recorded in fire. Even now, legions of light surround you, waiting, ready to strike down the schemes of darkness, but still, your obedience remains the key. For angels can fight, but only your hand can claim the scroll. Michael warns, beloved, I can scatter their plans, but I cannot force your choice. Heaven waits for your yes. In the spirit realm, the war intensifies. Sparks ignite as blades of fire meet the serpents of shadow. You may not see it with your eyes, but your atmosphere crackles with conflict. The more you hesitate, the closer their claws inch toward your inheritance. Michael's wings blaze brighter as he declares, this is not a distant battle, my child. It is over your life, your future, your bloodline. What you do in these minutes will decide who holds the scroll. The miracle glows still, but the shadows dare to stretch out their hands. And then Michael's voice pierces with finality, only your obedience can shut their mouths. His words cut through the noise like a sword through darkness. If you delay, your miracle trembles on the edge of being stolen. If you answer, the shadows scatter in terror. It is not the angels who silence them, but your choice. My beloved, do not give them cause to laugh over your name. Do not let your silence feed their victory. You hold the key, now, will you use it? My beloved, hear the measure of heaven, Michael whispers now, his voice both thunder and trembling flame. We do not count in hours as men count. Heaven weighs in breaths, in moments of obedience, in the span between heartbeat and heartbeat. You think you have time, yet time is what melts in your hands even as you read this. A great clock appears in the sky of your spirit, not made of gears or iron but of radiant light. Its sand is not ordinary dust, but fire dripping from eternity's core, each grain glowing as it falls. Every second strikes the air like a hammer, vibrating through your very bones. The angels around you bow their heads in silence, as if they too feel the gravity of this hour. For minutes, no more. With each grain that falls, heaven leans forward, the scroll trembles brighter, and shadows press harder. Michael speaks again, beloved, the time is not long. The choice is not later. The bridge of victory is made of these 4 minutes. Cross now, or the fire beneath will consume the path. Imagine a battlefield where soldiers hold their breath, waiting for a command that could decide nations. This is the atmosphere surrounding you. Every second wasted does not vanish, it empowers. It strengthens the hand of your enemy, it fuels their boldness, it whispers into their camp that perhaps you will not act. Already, Michael shows you a vision, shadows dancing around the fire clock, catching each fallen grain of fiery sand in their claws, feeding their power from your hesitation. Do you see, my child? He warns, his wings trembling with urgency. Delay does not merely pause destiny. Delay transfers strength. Every moment of indecision shifts weight from heaven's side to hell's. And yet, you still have time, if you act before the sands are gone. 4 minutes is not emptiness. It is an open gate. But an open gate can slam shut with a single gust of neglect. The vision deepens. Before you stands a massive hourglass of living light, its glass carved from the breath of God Himself, its fire sand hissing as it falls. Each drop burns as it touches the bottom, filling the air with smoke that forms the images of your future: open doors, freedom, restoration, laughter replacing sorrow. But even as these images flicker, serpents slither at the base of the hourglass, hissing and waiting for the final ember to fall, for then they may seize the scroll left unclaimed. Michael's sword flashes across the vision, holding the serpents back. Beloved, look and understand. 4 minutes is the span of mercy, the mercy that heaven extends for you to choose. This clock will not reset. It was carved for today, for this moment, and once its fire burns out, so does the opportunity. My child, Michael says, his voice rising like a storm, every pause feeds your enemy. Do not think of time as neutral, time is alive. When heaven sets a moment, that moment is sacred ground. To stand idle upon it is to let weeds choke what should have been a harvest. The bridge of 4 minutes is narrow and burning even as I speak. With each second you hesitate, flames lick higher, consuming the boards behind you, making return impossible. The enemy knows this. They laugh as the fire grows, waiting for you to watch rather than walk. But heaven does not laugh. Heaven weeps, hoping you will rise in courage before the fire consumes the bridge. And then Michael stops, his voice breaking like glass under weight. Beloved, I tell you what I see even as I speak: the bridge is burning. The path is collapsing behind you with each flicker of the clock. If you stand still, there will be no crossing. If you move, if you act, heaven will shield your steps from the flame. But indecision is a choice, and indecision will end in ashes. Around you, the vision trembles, fire rises, the scroll glows, the clock hisses. The air grows heavy with unbearable urgency. You must choose, Michael cries. This is not poetry. This is eternity pressing upon your moment. Then suddenly, light pierces the vision, and Michael shows you what waits if you act. A massive chest, sealed for ages, breaks open with a crack that echoes like thunder across eternity. From within it pours streams of liquid light, cascading in colors no human eye has yet fully known. It floods like rivers into dry places, splashing across wastelands, turning them into gardens in an instant. This, he explains, is your miracle: restoration of what was stolen, freedom from every cage, provision that multiplies where scarcity once ruled. The miracle is not small, it is the axis of your turning point. It is the day your story bends toward destiny. And yet, as it flows, shadows still linger at the edges, longing to divert the streams away from you. Michael gestures toward the outpouring light. Within its radiance, you see glimpses of what is coming: chains breaking from your family line, sickness dissolving like mist under sun, debts torn apart like paper in flame. You see doors long closed swinging open with no hand touching them. You hear laughter echoing where silence once suffocated your nights. Beloved, Michael declares, this is not imagination. This is the substance of heaven's decree. It is not a seed waiting to grow, it is a harvest ready to reap. But harvests can rot in the field if left unclaimed. This miracle waits in midair, hovering, trembling with desire to fall upon your life. But it needs your yes, your faith, your obedience. You see angels around the chest, their faces radiant, their wings folded in reverence. They are ready to deliver, yet they wait, not because of weakness, but because the law of heaven demands agreement. One angel lifts the scroll with trembling hands, holding it toward you, but it flickers between his grip and the shadows pressing in. My precious one, Michael says tenderly now, do you see their eagerness? Even heaven groans with desire to bless you. The miracle has been prepared for longer than you can imagine. The Father's delight was to release it on this very day. All of heaven is leaning forward. But miracles cannot rest where doubt reigns. They cannot fall into clenched fists of fear. They seek open hands of faith. Michael's tone deepens with fire again. My child, the miracle is not only for you. It is for the generations after you. If you claim it, your lineage will taste freedom. If you ignore it, they may walk in the same chains you despise today. Do you see how great the weight is? This is not about survival. This is about transformation. It is the shift from scarcity into abundance, from wandering into inheritance, from sorrow into rivers of joy. But heaven cannot pour into vessels that turn away. Do not think lightly of this hour. It is the hour that bends destiny. It is the pivot upon which your story will forever turn. The vision trembles again. The chest glows brighter, but suddenly a dark hand stretches toward it, claws grazing the streams of light, trying to steal what was meant for you. Michael's sword slashes, sparks scattering across the air, but he turns to you with grief in his eyes. Beloved, understand this, miracles can be stolen if not claimed. Do you not see the danger? Heaven released it, angels carry it, yet still the enemy dares to reach. Why? Because they know your delay weakens your grip before you even extend it. Precious one, the miracle longs for you, but it will not wait forever. The hand of betrayal is already stretching. If you do not rise, that hand may seize what was always meant for yours. Michael's voice lowers into a deep, sorrowful thunder. Beloved, I must tell you what heaven has already seen. Someone close to you, one you smiled with, trusted, even confided in, has stretched their hand toward your scroll. Before the courts of heaven, their name was spoken. Do not doubt this. Their lips uttered words of kindness to you, but in the shadows of their heart, jealousy grew like a serpent coiling tighter with each blessing announced over your life. The miracle that bears your name has caught their eyes. They have already plotted to block it, whispering in silence, aligning with unseen forces to keep you from claiming what is yours. Heaven does not lie, my child, betrayal always comes with a smile. Michael lifts his flaming sword, and with it, a vision opens. You see their face, smiling, laughing, seemingly harmless. Yet behind their eyes, a shadow flickers. Their laughter hides schemes, their handshakes cover poison, their encouragement carries envy. My child, Michael speaks, do not be deceived by familiar faces. Not all who walk beside you celebrate your rising. Some fear what your rising means for them. Some would rather see you broken than watch you soar. Heaven saw their hands stretched toward your scroll. Heaven recorded their whispers. You must be sober. The one who calls you friend in public may be the very one binding your miracle in secret. The vision intensifies. You see their fingers brushing the glowing scroll with your name. Their smile widens as they try to pull it toward themselves, though it burns against their skin. Yet still they reach, driven by a hunger not their own, a hunger stirred by the enemy. Precious one, Michael cries, their ambition is not for what is theirs. They covet what heaven wrote for you. They do not seek merely blessings, they seek your portion, your inheritance, your destiny. Their hands are stretched out, trembling, determined. Do not ignore this. The scroll will not remain unguarded forever. If you do not claim it, another's hand will. Now, in the vision, their face shifts. The smile fades into a sneer, the eyes darken, and their hand stiffens with greed. Do you see, beloved? Michael asks, his voice sharp like lightning. Betrayal wears a mask, but time always reveals its true face. They celebrate you outwardly, but inwardly they desire your fall. They praise you in your hearing, yet curse you in their chambers. Their words coil like snakes, their intentions drip with venom. And yet, the scroll remains within reach, it glows still, untouched fully. There is still hope. But you must act now, for if hesitation lingers, their grasp will tighten, and what was meant for your hands will slip into theirs. Michael's wings flare, his sword crackling with fire. His eyes blaze with both wrath and grief. Beloved, do not delay. Their hand hovers over what was written for you. Even as I speak, heaven watches, the earth groans, and the scroll trembles between two fates. Do not think betrayal is far. It is close. Do not think the danger is distant. It is now. Precious one, if you stand still, their hands will hold what was made for yours. But if you rise, if you claim, their schemes collapse into dust. You must choose quickly, for the miracle hangs between your obedience and their theft. Suddenly the vision tears open, and Michael reveals the greater war beyond the betrayal. You see two armies stretched across eternity's horizon. On one side, angels of light, radiant as suns, their swords blazing with holy fire. On the other side, serpents, demons, and shadows, their forms twisting in rage, their claws dripping with darkness. Beloved, understand, Michael cries, this is not about one person near you. This is about kingdoms. Light wars against shadow. Heaven wars against hell. And the battlefield is your miracle. You are not a spectator, you are the center. What you decide determines the outcome. Angels cannot force open your destiny. Only you can unlock it. The armies collide. Blades of light strike against the coiling serpents. Sparks of fire rain across the battlefield. You hear the cries of angels shouting war songs, their voices like rivers thundering against rocks. You hear the shrieks of shadows, hissing curses into the air. The atmosphere shakes as though the earth itself is groaning beneath the weight of this collision. And at the center, your scroll floats, glowing, trembling. Angels shield it, shadows lunge for it, and Michael himself swings his sword to keep the balance. But his voice pierces through the chaos, my child, even angels cannot carry this scroll into your hands. They guard it, they protect it, but they cannot place it within your grasp. Only your yes, only your obedience, only your act of faith can make it yours. The battle rages. Sparks burst like meteors through the sky, raining both beauty and terror. You feel the vibration of war in your chest, as though your very heartbeat aligns with the clashing swords. Demons writhe and twist, hissing your name, mocking your delay. Angels roar back, declaring your destiny, fighting with blades that carve light into the air. Do you see, precious one? Michael asks. This war is not imaginary. It is not symbolic. It is happening now, for you. And yet, everything hangs not on the strength of heaven's armies, but on your choice. Heaven fights for you, but cannot choose for you. Your name trembles on their lips, waiting for you to rise. The shadows grow bolder. One serpent lifts its head, hissing words that pierce like poison. They will not act. They will delay. They will surrender without a fight. Their laughter echoes across the field, fueling their strength. Michael's face burns with holy fire as he lifts his sword higher. Beloved, do not let their laughter ring true. If you stay silent, your name will echo in the enemy's camp as a victory song. They will boast of your hesitation, they will rejoice in your delay. But if you act, if you obey, their laughter will be silenced in an instant, and their mouths will choke on their own defeat. The vision shakes violently. Angels press forward, shadows push back, the scroll trembles brighter than ever. Michael turns to you, fire in his eyes, sorrow in his voice. The battlefield waits for you. Your decision is the turning point. Precious one, this war will not wait forever. The 4 minutes are bleeding away. If you step in, angels surge with strength. If you hold back, shadows rise in triumph. Heaven cannot cross this line for you. I cannot choose for you. The miracle hangs, and the enemy's laughter grows louder with each heartbeat you waste. Michael's voice softens, like thunder veiled in tenderness. My beloved, do not think you were chosen by accident. Heaven has watched you longer than you know. The Father counted every step you dragged through despair, every night you wept when no one saw, every silent cry buried in your pillow when words failed. Those tears were not wasted, not one fell unnoticed. Even when you thought heaven was silent, the chambers of the Almighty shook with your weeping. Angels carried your tears in golden jars, each drop recorded in fire. Do not imagine that pain was for nothing. Every tear became a testimony in the courts of heaven, and today, that testimony is tipping into blessing. You were chosen not because you were strong, but because you endured when storms tried to drown you. Precious one, the very weight that tried to crush you has become the evidence heaven uses to exalt you. Michael lifts his hand, and another vision opens. You see a vast chamber in heaven filled with jars, some small, some overflowing, some cracked from the heat of prayers burning within them. Beloved, these are your prayers, Michael explains, his voice trembling with reverence. The ones you whispered when no one else listened, the ones you spoke when you thought they dissolved into the ceiling. Heaven stored them. Heaven guarded them. And today, those jars are tipping. The liquid of your prayers mixes with the fire of God's decree, and together they ignite into miracles. The world may have mocked you, saying your faith was wasted. But the unseen has always been gathering. Heaven answers not in haste, but in fullness. The fullness has come. You were chosen because your prayers pierced realms others never dared to reach. Michael's eyes blaze with compassion. Precious one, listen well. The very cry you thought was ignored became the seed of this miracle. The enemy tried to convince you that silence meant abandonment, but silence was preparation. Every unanswered season was not rejection, it was planting. What was sown in pain is now rising in glory. Do you not see? The enemy mocked you, saying you prayed in vain, but those prayers became roots that reached into eternity. And now, heaven waters them with fire. Beloved, your suffering did not disqualify you, it qualified you. Your wounds are not shame, they are the very keys that opened heaven's storehouse. This is why you were chosen. This is why the scroll carries your name. Michael gestures again, and suddenly you glimpse a vast assembly of saints, angels, and witnesses leaning over heaven's balcony, their eyes fixed on you. They have watched your endurance, your secret sacrifices, your refusals to give up. They know what you carried, what you buried, what you surrendered. Beloved, Michael whispers, they cheer not because of your perfection but because of your persistence. You kept walking when chains clung to your feet. You kept praying when silence roared. You kept hoping when shadows mocked. That endurance was written into your testimony, and heaven honors it today. You were chosen because you did not stop. You were chosen because you did not break, though everything tried to shatter you. Michael's voice rises again, fierce with urgency. But hear me, my child, a seed, no matter how holy, no matter how powerful, dies if not watered in time. Your miracle has already sprouted, it trembles with green life. But if you do not act, if you do not claim, if you delay, the roots wither. Do not let the enemy harvest what grew from your tears. Do not let shadows pluck what you sowed with pain. Beloved, heaven's jars are tipping, but if you stay still, the water will fall to the ground and vanish. Choose now, for even a seed of destiny can rot if abandoned. A new vision blazes open, chains snapping one by one, their metallic cries echoing through the atmosphere. Ropes unravel, shadows scatter like smoke. My child, Michael declares, to receive this miracle, you must step out of the shadows that cling to you. You must let go of ties that drain your light. Miracles cannot dwell in divided hearts. Darkness will always demand compromise, but compromise is a closed fist against the gifts of heaven. Do you not feel the chains loosening already? They know they cannot remain where the miracle enters. But you must choose to release them fully. Precious one, this is the hour of separation, you cannot hold both chains and scroll in the same hand. Michael shows you a rope tangled around your waist, pulling backward. You see familiar faces tied to it, not enemies this time, but distractions, doubts, and ties that keep you circling instead of soaring. Their voices echo, stay here, wait longer, don't risk it. But their words are coated in dust, not light. Beloved, Michael urges, to walk forward, you must cut ties that keep you bound. Some are not wicked, but they are weights. Some are not demons, but they are drains. You cannot drag shadows into the land of miracles. You must release them, or the rope will choke the very breath of your promise. Michael's tone sharpens like a blade. Precious one, holding hands with darkness closes fists against miracles. Light and shadow cannot share the same vessel. Do you not understand? The miracle is holy. It cannot dwell where compromise reigns. If you open the door to doubt, fear, or secret sin, you slam the window against blessing. Heaven requires a choice, light or shadow. To hesitate is to choose shadow by default. To step into purity is to fling wide the gates of overflow. Beloved, this is not condemnation, it is invitation. Heaven longs to pour, but it can only pour into clean vessels. The vision shifts. You see shadows clutching your ankles, trying to drag you backward. But as you lift your hand toward the scroll, light bursts from your fingers, and the shadows shriek, retreating into the abyss. Chains shatter faster, ropes dissolve into ash. Beloved, Michael cries, this is the power of choice. Heaven does not abandon you to fight alone. When you step into the light, the shadows cannot remain. They flee at the sight of obedience. Do you not see? Your single act of yes will send tremors through the enemy's camp, collapsing fortresses that stood for generations. Choose light, and darkness will break itself against your faith. Michael's wings blaze white-hot, his face glowing with sorrowful urgency. My beloved, the hour of separation is now. You cannot delay. You cannot clutch both scroll and chain. You cannot straddle light and shadow. Miracles cannot rest in darkness. Do you hear me? Choose light, or the miracle will hover but never land. Choose light, or the scroll will remain sealed. Precious one, the bridge still burns, the sand still falls, the chest still glows, but if you remain in shadow, heaven itself cannot place what was made for you into your hands. Michael's voice shifts again, not just thunder but now a rushing river, overflowing with joy and gravity at once. Beloved, when your miracle descends, it will not be a drop, it will be a flood. You see rivers in vision now, bursting their banks, surging across deserts, carrying life into barren places. The water sparkles with heaven's light, rolling into valleys where no rain has touched for years. This is the measure of your blessing. It is not survival. It is not scraps. It is overflow. The rivers are meant to drown the famine in your family line, to sweep away every residue of lack, to carry seeds into dry ground until abundance rises where sorrow once choked. Precious one, this is why the enemy fights so fiercely. They know it is not only about you. It is about rivers flowing through you. You are the source heaven has chosen, and when the flood breaks, it will never be stopped again. The vision deepens. You see children laughing who have not yet been born. You see faces of generations rising with joy, walking free of curses, standing tall where past chains once pressed their backs down. Their eyes shine with hope because of what you chose today. Michael's voice softens, trembling with holy weight, beloved, your miracle runs beyond your name. It spills into the soil of your lineage, watering futures that would otherwise be barren. The choices of one generation echo into the destiny of the next. If you step forward now, your children and your children's children will drink from this river. But if you delay, if you surrender the scroll, their thirst remains. Can you not feel their cries in the unseen? They reach for you even now, whispering, "Do not let our inheritance be stolen." Precious one, Michael continues, his eyes ablaze, understand this, the miracle heaven has released is not small, not ordinary. It is not for your survival only, it is for your transformation. You will not simply crawl out of the pit, you will rise as one who owns the land around it. You will not simply eat, you will feed others. You will not simply heal, you will carry healing to many. This miracle lifts you into overflow so that the chains broken on you become chains broken on others. Do not think lightly of this. The enemy's rage proves the magnitude. They do not fear your survival, they fear your overflow, for overflow births revolutions of light. The vision widens. You see barren fields suddenly erupting with green, thousands of stalks sprouting overnight. You see houses filled with laughter, debts dissolving like mist, scars healing into testimonies that shine brighter than gold. You see tables spread with abundance, not only for you but for strangers, widows, and wanderers who stumble into your presence. Beloved, Michael says, his voice breaking, this is why your obedience matters. Overflow is not selfish. Overflow turns deserts into gardens, waste places into sanctuaries, silence into songs. Your miracle is the spark of this transformation. But it will only ignite if you stand. Heaven longs to see rivers run through your land. But rivers cannot run through clenched fists. You must open your hands, open your heart, open your yes. Michael's face glows brighter, his wings outstretched with urgency. My beloved, hear me, this miracle is not passive. It will not chase you forever. It waits at the edge of your obedience. Do not wait for another confirmation, for another sign. The sign is here. The scroll burns in heaven's chamber. The chest overflows. The bridge burns. The clock falls. All of heaven has aligned for this moment. But still, only one key can unlock the flood, your yes. Stand now. Open the message of heaven. Act before the 4 minutes collapse. Beloved, if you delay, rivers will dry before they reach you. If you obey, deserts will bloom at your touch. Michael's voice grows desperate now, like thunder breaking into sobs. My beloved, 4 minutes, no more. Do not deceive yourself with thoughts of tomorrow. Tomorrow is a thief if you let today slip away. The scroll is timed for this hour. The clock of fire does not pause, does not reset, does not wait. It falls, it burns, it ends. 4 minutes are the bridge. 4 minutes are the battlefield. 4 minutes are the scale on which your destiny trembles. Hear me, child, eternity leans into your now. Act, for the sands are almost gone. The vision shifts, showing a radiant scale balanced before you. On one side, golden light surges upward, rivers spilling, doors swinging wide, angels singing your name in victory. You see yourself laughing, restored, carrying blessings so vast they overflow into every corner of your life. Chains lie shattered at your feet. Generations drink from the river that flows from your obedience. Beloved, Michael says, trembling with joy in the vision, this is the future that unfolds if you rise. This is the reward of 4 minutes seized in faith. This is the destiny heaven longs to deliver into your hands. But then the scale tips, and the vision darkens. The rivers dry into cracked earth. The scroll fades, its glow dimming until only ashes remain. Shadows clap their hands, laughing, dancing, rejoicing over your silence. Generations stumble thirsty, chained, repeating the cycles you long to break. You see yourself staring at empty hands, whispering, "What if I had acted?" Michael's voice breaks, grief pouring through every word. Beloved, if you refuse, if you delay, this is the loss that awaits. The enemy will sing of your hesitation as their triumph. Do not let it be so. Do not let their laughter rise louder than heaven's song. Michael lowers his flaming sword, his wings trembling. For the first time, you see tears fall from his radiant eyes. My child, he says, I weep because I cannot choose for you. Angels cannot open this scroll. Heaven cannot force your obedience. Even the Almighty, in His sovereignty, has given this moment to your will. Do you see the weight of your freedom? Heaven waits. The earth waits. Your future waits. All creation groans at the edge of this decision. I beg you, do not let silence rob you. Do not let hesitation destroy what was written in fire before you were born. And now, Michael's voice thunders, shaking both heaven and your spirit, beloved, today, this very 29th of August, for minutes decide eternity. This is the hour, the gate, the line between ashes and glory. The scroll is yours, but only if you rise now. The miracle hovers, trembling, waiting for your yes. Act, receive, obey, and rivers will flood your land. Delay, deny, hesitate, and shadows will steal what was crafted for your name. The scale tips even now. The fire clock bleeds its last embers. The bridge burns beneath your feet. Choose. Choose now. For the miracle is written in your name, but only your obedience can bring it into your hands.